right. She's taking a video. All right,
With Bob and Faye and Dr. Sandra.
We are going to have an official welcome from Ward Klein, who's a member of the Sheldon board.
Well, good evening, everybody, and what an impressive crowd this is. I am Ward Klein, and I am on the board of the Sheldon. And on behalf of Paul Reuter, who is the executive director of the Sheldon, and Ann Bannister, the chairman of the board, a hearty welcome to this group. The work that the Interfaith Partnership does is important. My wife and I have actually attended these galas in the past. I'm also have the honor of being on the board of trustees of Eden Seminary and a member of First Congregational Church. So I very much understand what this is all about and really appreciate seeing you all here at the Sheldon. The Sheldon is also involved in some interfaith work. We have an art and faith concert that we sponsor here every year. Maybe many of you have attended it. If not, I welcome you to come to the Sheldon the next time we have that concert series. And the Sheldon is also working with the St. Louis Art Museum in terms of some interfaith guidance through some of the artwork at the St. Louis Art Museum. So that's all you're going to hear from me. Again, welcome very much. Enjoy yourselves tonight. It's wonderful to see such a big turnout. Thank you very much.
Good evening, dear friends. I want you to take just a minute and look around as far as your eyes can see and just capture as many people as you possibly can and just acknowledge who they are and the fact that we are here for what I believe is a most exciting evening. We are grateful that you are here, and it is our pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Baha'i community and the Board of Interfaith Partnership of Greater St. Louis. We are indeed grateful for your support, because without your financial support, many of the programs that we share with the community could not continue. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here. The title of the event is Circle of Unity, and it is not by chance that that title was selected for our dinner theme tonight. We, and I'd like to say we, the Baha'is of not only St. Louis, but all around the room, have just finished celebrating a very special time. It's the bicentenary of the birthday of the founder of our faith, Kevin Locke. So this is specifically a spiritually powerful and potent time for us. We would like to emphasize the theme, Circle of Unity, because we believe that unity in diversity is a pivotal point and foundational piece for all of us. Unity in our way of thinking, and then unity in the diversity of religions that are here tonight as we celebrate this event. Before I move on, I would like for you to just thank the people at your table, your Circle of Unity table. So just thank them for being here with you.
Thank you.
You were looking a little like overwhelmed there.
To just acknowledge the well-being of the persons who are seated with you. So thank you for doing that. I am going to share with you the opening prayer, which comes from the writings of Baha'u'llah. O divine providence, this assemblage is composed of thy friends who are attracted to thy beauty and are set ablaze by the fire of thy love. Turn these souls unto heavenly angels. Resuscitate them through the breath of thy Holy Spirit. Grant them eloquent tongues and resolute hearts. Bestow upon them heavenly power and merciful susceptibilities calls them to become the promulgators of the oneness of mankind and the cause of love and concord in the world of humanity, so that this perilous darkness of ignorance, prejudice, may vanish through the light of the Sun of Truth. This dreary world may become illumined. This material realm may be absorbed by the rays of the world of spirit. These different colors may merge into one color, and the melody of praise may rise to the kingdom of thy sanctity. Verily, thou art the omnipotent and the almighty.
This is CJ.
Good evening, friends. We hope you enjoyed your meal. We're going to begin
We have a magnificent crowd. The view from up here is really quite something. I would have been down there, but Harvey Schneider said you couldn't see me if I was down there. The last time I was standing on a step like this and addressing a crowd, I think was my bar mitzvah. That was just a few years ago. On a more serious note, though, like many people, I'm really deeply troubled by the lack of civility in the public discourse. What compels people today to refer to a person they don't agree with a derogatory term? One of the most prevalent is being called a liar. I've heard that term liar used more in the last year or so than I think I've heard in many years in my adult life. And it's from both sides of the political spectrum. Now, when I hear that term, it's like chalk screeching on a blackboard to me, and I get chills up and down my body. I get so disturbed. Webster defines liar, or lie, as making an untrue statement with the intent to deceive. Consequently, not every untrue statement is a lie. Why are we now so quick to imply bad motives to speakers? Shouldn't we first give the benefit of the doubt? When did we stop saying that a person is mistaken, or that they're wrong, or just misinformed? Must we think the worst about everyone we disagree with every time they say something with which we disagree? When did we stop listening to each other and just jump to negative conclusions? Did I tell a lie when I said that I made a joke, a bad joke, about being prepared to speak for 30 minutes? I hope not. I'm very proud to be serving as president of the Interfaith Partnership Board. I work with and I've gotten to know wonderful people who are members of approximately 30 different faith groups, and some people who have no particular faith at all. But the strength of the Interfaith Partnership is the realization that while we may disagree on certain issues, we begin with the fundamental understanding that we have more in common than we have differences. Virtually every faith group has adopted the golden rule. Starting from that basis, you can have difficult conversations with your neighbors. You may still not agree, but you can understand and appreciate where they're coming from. While our own faith may provide answers for us, we can appreciate that our neighbor's faith provides answers for them. After all, between people of good faith, you can actually have two rights and no wrong. You may have heard the story about Max and Isaac when they were having a big disagreement. So they went to see the rabbi. And Max told his story, and the rabbi listened intently, and he said, Max, he said, that was wonderful, you're right. And then Isaac told his story, and the rabbi was very impressed, and he said, Isaac, that was well stated, you're right also. And they both left. And the rabbi's wife overheard this, and she came up to the rabbi and she said, how could you say that? How could they both be right? They had this big major disagreement. They weren't on the same page at all. And he looked at her and he said, you know what? You're right too. As a mediator, which is what I do in my other life, I tell people all the time that you do not have to agree on the facts in order to resolve your problems. You can come at the solution in different ways, but the important thing is to listen to each other and come to a resolution of your problem. So it's not necessary that you be convinced by what your neighbor says. What is necessary is that you listen and that you are respectful and that you give heed to what your neighbor says, and then you find a way to bridge gaps and solve problems together. At IAP, our mission statement says, Interfaith partnership deepens understanding, respect, and appreciation among all persons across lines of religious difference. Our motto is, as communities of faith, we agree to differ, promise to love, and unite to serve. Just imagine how great our country would be if all people strive to live by those principles. If that were to occur, the public discourse, in my opinion, would reach a new level of civility. He's seated back here somewhere. Chief, would you rise? The other is Chief Roy Jockenstaller from the city of O'Fallon, and Jockenstaller and I go back a long ways. When he was just a pup of a cop and I was a very young lawyer, we were involved together in some cases on different sides, but we had a lot of fun in those days. I need to thank a number of people, and I want to start by thanking Eden Theological Seminary and the Reverend David Greenhaw for providing a home to Interfaith Partnership. Interfaith Partnership had some rough periods years ago, and Eden Seminary came to our rescue and provided a home and a place where we could be comfortable and get back on our feet and grow. And David, if you would express to the board for us our deep appreciation for everything Eden has done, that would be much appreciated. Thank you so much. I want to thank the Christian Science Church in Brentwood, where Merrill Walters attends, for allowing our board and our cabinet to meet there on a regular basis for our meetings. They show us great hospitality. I want to thank Mercy Hospital, Dr. Paul Hensey, for hosting several meetings there and just being wonderful hosts when we're in need of space. So Paul, I don't know where you're seated, but thank you so very, very much. As those of you who regularly attend these dinners know that each year a different faith group is responsible for putting on the dinner. And this year that responsibility fell to the Baha'i community. And you've heard from Dr. Billie Mayo and from David Landesman already, who are co-chairs of the dinner committee who put this on. And all I can say is that they, together with the dinner committee and whatever volunteers they were able to scrape up after that, just did a fantastic job, as is evidenced by the tremendous turnout we have tonight and about the way the program is going, at least up until the time I started. So thank you, and I'd like the dinner committee to stand and be recognized. So if you're on the dinner committee, please stand and be recognized. executive committee and board of trustees is a tremendous group of people that I work with on a very regular basis. And once again, they work tirelessly to carry out the mission of Interfaith Partnership. So with the members of the executive committee and the board of trustees, please stand and be recognized. The Interfaith Partnership Cabinet is the public voice of the Interfaith Partnership on matters of religious, moral, and ethical conscience. It consists of leaders and representatives of approximately 30 different faith groups and is led by the chair, Dr. Paul Hinsey, and the vice chair, Reverend Dr. David Greenhoff. Would the members of the Interfaith Partnership Cabinet please stand and be recognized? We are very lucky to have Phil Deitch here tonight, our photographer who's been circling the room and taking pictures at various times. Here he is, and Phil does a great job for us. He does this, and because of Phil, we have a pictorial history of many of our events. So Phil, thank you for your service. To the staff of the Sheldon here, you've gone above and beyond in making this a successful event. I want to thank the executive director, Paul Ryder, the operations director, Quentin Reed. There he is over there, the Secret Service guy. And the events director, Rachel Bowen. They've done a terrific job in helping us put this event together. Most importantly, I want to thank our staff. We have 3 amazing people who really do the hard work, the day-to-day work, everything that keeps the Interfaith Partnership what it is, and keeps us going. And that's our staff led by David Mayo, Leslie Everly, our 2 co-executive directors, together with Leona Khalid. If they please stand and be recognized. I'm very sincere when I say that in my mind, you 3 are really gifts from above the Interfaith Partnership. So thank you for all you do. Finally, I've been advised that we have at least 40 students here tonight from various universities, and it's just wonderful because the young people are our future. So will our future please stand and be recognized? That we are honoring such an outstanding individual as Dr. Ghazala Hayat. I've known Dr. Hayat for many years now, and I've had the wonderful experience of working with her in Interfaith Partnership and the Jewish Muslim Day of Service and in other kinds of events. And I can tell you that when the board voted on who to give the award to this year, it didn't take 20 seconds for the board to be unanimous about who should be the recipient of the award. So it's just that overwhelming, and that she is so deserving. And as a special treat, I've asked a good friend of both Dr. Hayat and myself, Batya Abramson Goldstein, who was a former chair of our cabinet and also a former recipient of this award, to assist me and to actually present the award to Dr. Hayat. So Batya, would you come forward, please?
Even though I'm tall, I'll use it. It is a magnificent sight. It is. Good evening. The invitation to this event called us to come together and to celebrate. And the annual meeting of Interfaith Partnership is certainly an occasion for celebration because Interfaith Partnership is an organization that is more necessary than ever for the well-being of our community. There is another meaning to the word celebrate, to honor or praise publicly. It is a great privilege to introduce this year's Interfaith Partnership honoree, Dr. Ghazala Hayat, whose contributions to interfaith relations we celebrate today. Details of Dr. Hayat's bio are in your program. Over 2 decades, our dear friend, Dr. Ghazala Hayat, has played a key role in the interfaith community. Over the years, 17 years, Dr. Hayat has worked to promote the mission of Interfaith Partnership. She has been, in a word, a true partner. What is the role of a partner? There's the usual definition. A partner is a person who shares or is associated with another in some action or endeavor. That certainly fits. Let's go further. The word partner, I don't know if anybody knows this. I'm recent to this knowledge. The word partner is derived from the Middle English word partenaire. A partenaire is one of the structures that strengthens a ship, that strengthens it so that it can support a mast. And in those terms as well, Dr. Ghazala Hayat has been a most valued partner. She has strengthened, she has supported Interfaith Partnership and other interfaith activity in St. Louis, bringing her wisdom, her passion, and yes, her persistence. She has been a leader in the establishing of lines of communication and friendship between the many communities of St. Louis. She is a deeply respected and valued representative and spokesperson of the Muslim community, committed to the building of solid relationships, which are the framework upon which interfaith work is built. She has consistently and effectively responded in times of crisis. She has vigorously demonstrated her commitment to working in partnership to create innovative programs that bring our community together. I speak from direct experience. In my years as executive director of the JCRC, I had the privilege and the pleasure of working directly with Dr. Hayat in all of the areas that I just mentioned. This included the creation of the Jewish-Muslim Teen Dialogue Group and the program that Lenny mentioned, the Jewish-Muslim Day of Community Service on Christmas Day. Both programs continue to flourish. A new endeavor that Dr. Hayat has become passionately engaged in is Arts and Faith St. Louis. In all cases, Dr. Hayat brings an approach which the Sufi poet and mystic Rumi promoted, one of cherishing our commonalities and feeling not diminished, but rather enlarged by our differences. Dr. Hayat powerfully advances the approach of what has been termed the dignity of difference. Dr. Hayat, could you please join me? devoted service to interfaith relations and to interfaith partnership. Congratulations.
Good evening. Can you hear me at both ends? Thank you. Peace be upon all of you. I'm very thankful to Interfaith Partnership for this award, and I'm humbled by this recognition. First, I'm thankful to my Creator for giving me a chance to work with this great organization and for this honor. And honestly, I'm blessed to have a very loving, supportive family and friends like all of you. I strongly believe these are not the words. I think this award belongs to all of you who have worked with me. You know, no matter what small or big work we have to do, one person is just one person, cannot achieve it. A lot of people contribute towards that. I have not done anything without all of you helping me. You know, when I met Interfaith Partnership, the organization was a teenager, going through the growing up pains and everything. And now it's a well-established, settled adult. So as chair of Islamic Foundation, I was asked, go and join. You have to be in that meeting as ex officio member. I went there, and the 2 hours of meeting, the commitment, the sincerity, and camaraderie of the members were so palpable that I decided that I will become a member myself of this organization. That was second week of August 2001. A few weeks later, 9/11 happened. Interfaith Partnership, true to its spirits, stood by Muslim community. They arranged for prayer services. They visited our mosques and issued supportive statements. Some even volunteered to come and be at the mosque to provide security. Some volunteered to go with the ladies who were wearing hijab if they felt threatened. According to Webster Dictionary, interfaith relationships is defined as just involving people of different religions. And I think it has much deeper meaning than that. So involvement can range from just meeting with people of different faiths and could end towards the meaningful relationships where we are comfortable with our differences, we can find common grounds and can work for collective good. The moral fabric of different faiths is very similar. We all strive to love our fellow human beings. We want to feed the hungry. We want to console the hurt. And we want to support the needy. So successful interfaith organizations are actively advocating for equal rights for minorities, dispelling misinformation and misunderstandings about others' faiths. This not only pertains to minority faiths, and I know, but I will request again, people who believe that we are minority, we also have to defend the faiths of majority because their misinformation is on both sides. We need to educate each other and get together to serve the society at large. And I'm proud to say the Interfaith Partnership Greater St. Louis has been above the curve. I heard from many Muslims from different parts of USA, the great work we do it. Believe me, lots of communities which we are taking it for granted today will be surprised to see so many people sitting together and be so comfortable with each other. So each and every one of who has stood by us, you have sent us heartfelt wishes. You have issued supports, statements of support. And you walked with thousands of those people in those cold nights to uphold the rights and respect for each faith and minority group. I can never thank you enough. You make my belief in humanity stronger every day. You counter negative forces which espouse prejudice, bigotry, and squashing rights. And we should be proud that there are very few places in this world where we have this kind of liberty and mutual understanding as USA. Let's not underestimate the strengths of these relationships, of interfaith relationships. These are not only feel-good relationships. These are the foundations of establishing flourishing, loving, and mutually respectful communities. We have the resolve to fight hunger, bigotry, and intolerance. Together we have done it in the past, and we will continue to do so. I want to thank every friend with whom I had the honor to work with in interfaith relationships. You have enriched my life. I have learned about your faith, but more importantly, these interactions made me learn more about my own faith. Being part of Interfaith Partnership has been a privilege and honor for me. And thanks again for all of your kindness. All the blessings to all of you, and God bless America.
I'm here today to respect the interfaith with Dr. Hayat. Congratulations. I'm trying to see how we can do these. We have such a wonderful people in our community, alhamdulillah. So thank you for all the service and congratulations. And congratulations to Interfaith Partner. I would like to now proceed with given a responsibility, very important from my heart, coming from dear friends in my Baha'i community. We know you are celebrating an important year in your growth as a faith. We celebrate with you, knowing that in certain parts of the world, your members are not safe and in fact persecuted. Just like the Muslims are being persecuted in Myanmar, resulting in largest refugee migration in the history, moving to neighborhood Bangladesh. But tonight, we want you to condemn any discrimination based on faith or religion. And we follow our Prophet Muhammad's a very famous letter he wrote to oldest monastery in Arabia and condemning that we should tolerate all religions, not discriminate any religion or faith. So with that, I present this birthday certificate, a gift to our friends from our Muslim and interfaith community. Please rise, Ms. Dr. Billie Mayo and David Landesman, please.
I want to thank a long-standing member who's both served as president of the board and has served as secretary of our cabinet for 24 years plus, been the only secretary of our cabinet. He has an institutional memory like no one else. Howard Nelson has decided to step down. And Howard, we love you, we respect you, and we just appreciate all you've always done for the Interfaith Partnership. Thank you.